All right, good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Doing good? Good. Anyone excited today? Anybody excited? I'm excited because my daughter loves me today. I know she always loves me, but she really loved me today because I usually have to fight for kisses and stuff, which has usually been the story of my whole life. But but most of the time she's like, which is a normal reaction when you should be the normal reaction if I ever ask for a kiss for you. You should be, no. That's usually her reaction. But today she gave me willingly. And so I'm excited. I'm in a good mood. I'm also excited because, as a lot of you know, Kelsey, my wife, is expecting. So we're ready. February 20th is the due date. We're very excited. But for those of you who weren't there that Sunday or want to see something, want to see me cry, I want to show the video of what happened on Father's Day about 2 months back. So if we can roll that.
Sissy, guess what? You're gonna be a big sister! Yay! Is that exciting? Don't tell Daddy though, it's a secret, okay? Are you so happy? Are you gonna be a big sister?
Yeah, I'm sister.
Yeah?
Sister.
You're my sister?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I'm sister. Shannon.
Yeah. She was saying, I'm a big sister. I'm excited. So, yeah, it must have been Caleb, we need to check the air ducts because there was pollen that day and it just made my allergies really act up that day. So we're excited. We are so excited. We're actually, what the best part of naming a baby is coming up with the actual names, and you get to come up with a word. You get to come up with letters that make a sound, and that's the thing you call them for the rest of their life. That's their name. And so it's so exciting to figure out names and everything like that. And we really want our kid to love us. So the best way to do that is name them with a letter that starts with Z, because that means their last and everything, and kids love that, right? In school, so we're having a Z name for each kid. So if it's a boy, we're doing Zeke, and if it's a girl, we're naming her Zola. Kelsey likes the name Zola, Z-O-L-A, and so we like those names, but we really wanted the middle names to particularly be really special, sentimental to us. And so if it's a boy, we're going to name him Andrew, which is, why not? I mean, it's a good name. But I'm also a fifth generation Andrew, and so we're going to keep that tradition going. But if it's a girl, we're going to name the middle name McKinley, which is, as you know, the road that our family lives on. Journey. So that means a lot to us. So we're going to name her Zola McKinley if she's a girl, which she is, for sure. But we're not going to find out until next month, but it's a girl. Fingers crossed. Okay. So we're excited. And when I was thinking about today's topic, and we're talking about our purpose, and I thought about what is my purpose? What do I believe my purpose is? And I remember when we had Demi, when I got married to Kels, and when I went to Ozark Christian College, I realized my purpose on those days. I realized my purpose is to be a good father. My purpose is to be a great husband, and my purpose is to be an awesome youth minister. Whether I am those things or not, that's my purpose, okay? So that is not the debated question, whether I'm good at those things, okay? So please no raised hands. But that's my purpose, and I know Kelsey's purpose is children's ministry. She's passionate about children's ministry. She's passionate about woodworking. She's passionate about being a great mother, and she's an excellent wife. And that's her purpose. And Demi's purpose right now is to be 2. And that may not sound like a lot, but it is. And it's crazy. Whenever she turned 2, like it was 1 year was amazing. It was everything. It was the first steps. It was the first word. She said dada on her first word was dada on my birthday. And so it was perfect. And first she was great. And it's like 2. Why? It's like, this is what I imagine. God's like, has like all of these like mother soundboards, like, and it's just like electronics and wires and switches and dials, and it's all these customizations, and there's like one for each year of being alive. So he's doing one. He says, okay, cuteness level, 100%, right? You're gonna switch the wires, make sure they're cute. The adorable things they do, the walking, the first steps. He gets all of that ready. He gets the rest of the years, and they're like, oh, don't forget the age 2. And you're like, oh yeah, of course. We gotta customize age 2. So we stand there. Okay, mobility. We're gonna push that up just a little bit. Cuteness level. We gotta keep that going. Patience. Oh, let's crank all the way up. So they're really patient. And yelling and arguing. Let's keep that down to 0. The parents don't need that. And then it's like Peter, Angel Peter or something came up and just bumped his arm and spilled his coffee all over the motherboard. And then just sparks started flying and wires were cut loose and circuits broke. And it's just a mess. And then like God's like, you know what? We don't have time to fix it. Just send it as it is. It can't be that bad. Okay? Because like it's just, when it's 2 years old, like I love her to death. And I'm not saying she behaves poorly, but she behaves poorly a lot of times, okay? All right? But she's a great, and like Monica said, the most important thing, she's cute. She is extremely cute. And she's on my good side because she kissed me this morning, okay? So that's Demi's purpose though. Demi's purpose is to give daddy patience and just to be 2, right? So that's her purpose. That's my purpose. That's Kelsey's purpose. And I keep thinking, what is our purpose? I'm going to ask you that question this morning. What is your purpose? Have you ever thought about that? What is my purpose? I asked the kids this morning. I asked this college and high school, middle school kids this morning. I said, what is your purpose? And we had so many answers. Some, I don't know. Well, my purpose is to imitate Christ. My purpose in life will be to build houses. We had a lot of different answers, but when we ask that question, it comes off a little selfish, right? You got to think about it. It's like, what is your purpose? It's all about me, right? What do I want? What do I want to succeed? What do I want to do in life? What do I want to be remembered for? What is my purpose? Does that sound selfish at all? I think sometimes it can be, because it's all about us. We read self-help books. We look at motivational speakers. We go to churches with preachers who say really nice things and build you up. And we try to figure out our purpose and what is my purpose. And we have to ask ourselves, truly, what is your purpose? Because a successful life doesn't mean you have a purpose, right? Does it? If you're successful, does that mean that's your purpose? No, I mean, I don't know about you, but did you watch the fight last night, big pay-per-view fight? Anybody watch it? No? We have a couple people? Okay. There was a huge fight I don't know if you know this, there was a huge fight. They're calling it the fight of the century, whatever. And it was Conor McGregor, a UFC heavyweight champion, lightweight champion, whatever, I don't know. And Floyd Money Mayweather. And it was a pretty huge fight. And guess how much Floyd Money Mayweather made last night? You know, just a small chunk of change, 300 million. 300 million, win or lose. I would take that. I would get beat up by Floyd Money Mayweather any day for $20 probably, because $20 is $20, guys. Come on, let's be honest. Yeah, stop it. But we also often can be led astray because we read these books and we read these people, we see these people and we say, wow, that's what success means. I need to be successful, so I have a purpose. I need to find a purpose that's going to give me money, that's going to give me a house, right? That would be my purpose. And a lot of the purpose, when we were talking about it this morning, everyone started naming jobs, what they're going to have. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do when I grow up. And that's the idea the world has. It's whatever you're doing, whatever job you have, that's your purpose in life. Are you guys happy with that? If your purpose in life was what you were doing right now as a job, are you happy with your purpose? Are you okay with that? If you looked at the jobs you had previously and that was your purpose, is that what you're happy with? Like that's I don't know about you, but I was a Pizza Hut server one time and I wasn't happy with my purpose. I was like, if this is my purpose in life, this is what God, like this is all I'm ever going to amount to, and this is what in the kingdom of God, God's going to look at like this Andy Danoon, Pizza Hut server. Like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like to say that's my purpose on earth is to serve pizza and really bad salad, I'm just not happy with that. But it can be selfish when we ask, what is your purpose? But we have to understand, God gives us our purpose, doesn't he? God gives us our purpose, and we have to realize that success does not equal a purposeful life. We live and breathe every single day, but not because we want to, right? Not because we choose to. You don't just wake up in the morning, well, I think I'm going to breathe today. We live and breathe. Why? Because God wills us to live and breathe, right? We get out of bed and we take steps forward in our life not because we choose to, but because God wills us to. He allows us to. God's purpose in your life, it can be many, many things. And so we can't look into our occupation and say, that's my purpose. But the thing is, when we look at our purpose, we can't think me, me, me. Because so many times people in life will sit down and they'll pray. This is what their prayer is. God, I want to do what I want, when I want. I want to go where I want to go. I want to say what I want to say. And God, I hope you bless it. Right? We tell him what we want and then that's it. And we say, oh Lord, please just allow me to do this. We'll do this and do this and do this. How often do we just say, God, I want whatever you want. Lord, whatever you want me to go, I will go. Whatever you want me to say, I will say. And Lord, bless that. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with saying what you want. But if that's where we end it, I mean, who are we to boss that guy around? I mean, he created the universe, every living creature, the mountains, the sky, the ocean, and he gave up his son to die for you. And then yet we have the audacity to go, oh, by the way, if I can get a pay raise, that'd be great. See you later. And then that's it. That's not okay. This is his life, isn't it? And I try to push the kids and let them know this morning, listen, our purpose isn't our purpose. It's not ours. It's his. We're just living in his body, right? Right on? Yeah, you guys are learning. The point in life, the purpose of life is to live a life of purpose. Let me repeat that. The purpose of life is to live a life of purpose. Right on? Think about that. The purpose of life is to live a life of purpose. Now, what's the purpose of a speedy checkout line at Walmart? Now, that's the most important question right now. 20 items or less, right? Now, what does that mean, Andy? Speedy checkout, 20 items or less. I wish that it would be a name that explains exactly what it is. It's a speedy checkout. 20 items or less, people, okay? So I'm at Walmart. I pick up 9 items. I make sure I count before I go through, okay? Because I'm a decent human being, all right? I count my items. I have 9 items, all right? I'm gonna go speed checkout. And I'm a self-checkout guy, but I'm like 9 items, they'll be able to do it a lot faster. So I go through the speedy checkout. Person cuts me off. No big deal, she can just pass on by. She has a full cart of stuff. Obviously, she's a decent human being, would not go through a speedy checkout with a full cart of items. Once again, I am wrong. She goes into the speedy checkout, and what does the Walmart cashier do? Nothing. No, ma'am, could you please go over to this where we have, because since you have more than 20 items? No. Lady's way too nice, doesn't say anything, and I am there, and I count. I count how many items she has. 73 items, people. 73 items, and I was just that bitter about it that I literally sat there and counted. I was just make sure I get a good angle and just watched everything. And this is probably in my face the whole time.
Andy, I apologize.
Yeah.
You need to get
it was Heather, okay? I'm just being super passive-aggressive about it. But, no, I'm kidding. But for real, it was 73 items. What is wrong with you? There is a purpose for the 20 items or less. They literally printed a sign that says it. It's not even on here why I'm saying it. It's just I'm really angry about it. And it happened like over a year ago. What is your purpose? Everything has a purpose, right? We do things because it has a purpose. Unless you're a teenager, we just do things and we just don't even think about it. And I'm speaking from my own experience, not talking about you guys. I was at a lock-in last night, and we spent like 16 hours wide awake. Then we almost 24 hours, pretty much 24 hours staying straight awake. It was a lot of fun. We all have purposes. Everything has a purpose. And so when we ask, what is your purpose? What am I doing here? Why do I belong in Joplin, Missouri at Journey Church, Ozark Christian College, MSSU, at my job that I've been at for a week or 20 years? Why am I here? What is my purpose? How do I find it? This is how you find it. You will only find your purpose of life through this. After a relentless pursuit of a relationship with God. Once you begin a relentless pursuit for a relationship with God, a personal relationship with God, then and only then will you truly find the value of your purpose in life. A relentless pursuit. Nothing to stop you. Are you doing that? Are you relentlessly pursuing Him to get closer, to be intimate with Him, to get to know Him, to let Him get to know you, to talk with Him? Are you doing that? God's will for your life is not complicated. And what a lot of people think, it's your job, it's a lot of different things, but I'm going to tell you, we all have the same purpose. And it's not complicated, it's not a mystery, and it's not hard to find. It's in the Word. It's in the Scriptures, and it's been down. And that is, I know you were expecting that. The Bible? No way. Yes. It's in the Bible. And there are 3 verses I asked Gina to pull up today because I thought they were pretty important. So there's a verse in Proverbs 19:21. It says, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Listen to that. We have a lot of plans in our heart. We budget, we plan, we organize, and we do all these things, but in the end, you have to realize the only thing that's going to last, the only thing that's going to prevail is God's purpose for you and for everyone else. And in Romans 8:28, it says that we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. We are called to His purpose because we've chosen to be a part of it. Right on? We've looked at God's purpose. We've looked at His plan. We've looked at His Son. We've looked at all the Scripture. And then by saying that you're a Christian, you looked at Him in the eye and you said, God, I'm with you. Your life is now mine. My life is now yours. My purpose, my wants, my desires, everything I want in life is now what you want, what you desire, what you wish to see. Philippians 2:12-13. Therefore, my dear friends, as you have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but now much more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill His good purpose. Do not stop. Do not cease. Living on purpose is the title today, and I want you to do that. Because I know a lot of us do things on accident. We live on accidents for a while, and then suddenly we grow up and start learning a little bit, and so we start living on purpose. But that's not what I mean. I mean, I want you to not, like Bon Jovi said, living on a prayer. I want you to live on purpose, okay? I think that's pretty accurate. When you say, I want to live on purpose. I want my life, when you look at the end of my life, I want to look and say, you know what? I lived with a purpose. I lived on purpose. That was my one concrete thing I did not want to give up. And when you realize your purpose in life, does it change you? Yeah, it changes you because you have a different mindset, right? But does that mean just because you realize your purpose, does that mean you have to move across the country? Does that mean you have to quit your job the next day? Is that what it's saying? No. It's your heart, it's your mind, and it's saying, listen, I want you to live with purpose right now. God's purpose in mind. Everything he wants and desires in the scriptures, that's now your wants and desires. And there's this lady in Mark 5. It's one of my favorite stories in the world, and it's about a bleeding woman. She had been suffering for 12 years, spent all the money she had. She kept getting worse. She was an outcast. She was unclean, and she could not be around anybody, no families or friends. And she sees a crowd surrounding Jesus, right? It's like a Justin Bieber concert, like with a bunch of teenage girls. Like it's Jesus in the middle, and everyone is surrounding him. Thousands of people are surrounding him. And this woman is standing back, and she had only heard the stories of Jesus. She had only heard. She had never met him. She never saw a miracle in person. She had only heard the words of Jesus. I'm pushing that down your brain because this is important. She had only heard the stories. I cannot emphasize that enough. She had only heard the stories of Jesus. And then it says, and she went up and touched him. How did she just go up and touch him all nonchalant, just through a crowd? Do you think it was easy for her? It doesn't say it, but I guarantee it wasn't easy. I mean, there was a crowd of people thronged around him, and she had to fight, crawl, bite, and yet the thing is, she's not allowed to touch anybody. She's in big trouble. And yet she's going to go up and touch the most holy man on the land? Are you kidding me? She's going to die. She's going to be put to death. Something bad's going to happen. But did she care? No. Because when she saw Jesus, she didn't see a man in poor clothing. She didn't see a rugged man with a long beard and long hair. She saw purpose. Because for 12 years, she'd be living a life without purpose. But when she saw him, she saw opportunity. She saw love. She heard forgiveness through the stories. How many times have we heard the stories of Jesus? Every single week at least, right? Do we pursue him like she pursued him? Are we willing to run through a crowd of people just to get closer to him? She stopped at nothing because she wanted to have a purpose in her life. She wanted to live for something. She was an outcast. Her family couldn't speak to her. She couldn't hug her children. And she risked it all because she saw Jesus and she saw purpose and something she could truly live for. And as the band comes up, I want to close with this. Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. I love this story. She saw Jesus, she heard the stories, and she ran after him because she could not stand anything being between her and Jesus, okay? There is something standing between you and a closer relationship with Christ, whether you've been a Christian since you were a kid or you've got baptized last year, okay? Or maybe you got baptized and accepted this summer like one of the kids. Do not let there be a gap. Do not let there be anything because you have a purpose. God has it in front of you. He wants to be a part of you. And guess what? I didn't say there had to be a drastic change, right? The woman came up to Jesus, she touched him, and then he gave her a chance to explain the truth, and she said, I touched you, I'm sorry. And she told the whole truth. I've been suffering for 12 years. I can't touch my kids. I can't be around my husband. I'm unclean. I've been judged. I've been an outcast. No one loves me. And I heard stories about you, and I thought they might be true, and so I have nothing to lose. I've lost everything. I want purpose in my life. And she explained everything to him. And what did he call her? Do you know? He looked at her and he said, "Daughter, you're healed." Are you kidding me? She'd been outcast and she'd been unclean and ugly and a monster in society. Everyone judged her. And all of that went away and she became a daughter. She was looking for a purpose. She was looking for healing, and she found a father. And I don't know about you, but I love my father because he gives me purpose. He gives me a chance and something to do and something to get excited about. Even staying up all night for 15 hours without sleeping for almost 30 and just having fun, that's purpose. You have a purpose. What is standing between you and Jesus? Right now, I'm asking. The music's going to play and the altar is open. Come up here. If you need prayer, ask for it. We'll come up here and pray for you. That's one thing we love about Journey. No one prays alone. No one fights alone. Chip and Matt are going to be in the back. Please go talk to them if you need something. Like I said, you've been a Christian all your life or just last week. I don't care. Do not be afraid of your purpose. So I'm going to ask you one more time. What's your purpose? Because Jesus dying on the cross gives you a purpose. Whether you believe it or not, whether you want it or not, you have a purpose. And Jesus Christ is that purpose. So I'm going to ask you, are you living on purpose?